What's up everyone, my name is Joey and in today's video we will be discussing the new play to earn game called Crabada and basically determine if this is a project you or me should invest in, yes or not. So let's dive straight into it guys. So this is their website currently, so that's the first thing we look at. The design looks okay. I'm not quite certain what their target audience is because if I look at their design elements, it doesn't really trigger my interest and I'm almost 30 years old, so that might be one of the things. And that's something that I'm a little bit concerned about immediately, and I'll explain to you guys later also why that exactly is. But in terms of design, I mean, it does show a unique IP. They're using some type of sea crabs. That's their unique IP basically, right guys? So if we continue to scroll down, I already couldn't find a lot of information regarding their team because I couldn't see any team tab or an about tab. So that's already a little bit concerning for me too. So let's continue to scroll down a little bit. A fully decentralized play and earn idle game. Again, idle game, I don't like that because I believe gameplay is king and idle games are not really full and saturated with gameplay, right guys? There's not a lot of gameplay going on in these type of games, and especially in the long term there will be so many competitors that do provide a lot of very unique and fun to play gameplay that a lot of these idle games will not really hold ground for the long term. Let's continue. Rediscover the prosperous ancient Crabada kingdom once ruled by Corsteco, king of the Carbada. Mine, loot, breed and expand your forces. This is also a little bit of a design flaw guys. I am aware that I'm nitpicking a little bit, but if you design elements white on white, it really deteriorates the readability of the text, right guys? You can clearly see it here where some of the letters are already becoming not really visible. So in terms of quality and detail, like those things are a little bit, things a team should look at if they are serious, of course. Like we could see some more design elements over here. I quite like the designs, but yet again guys, I'm struggling a little bit with their target audience because I can't deny it looks like something that is designed for my 8-year-old nephew, right guys? It doesn't really target the audience that is necessary in order to invest in these type of NFTs, because usually these type of NFTs are quite expensive, at least a few $100s, and of course an 8-year-old doesn't have a few $100 spare cash to invest in this game. That's common sense. But yet again guys, I'm also aware, and I was quite early with the game Axie Infinity back in 2019. I had the opportunity to invest in Axie Infinity. I could have made a lot of money on that game, but I didn't. The reason why I did not is because I also had worries and concern for their target audience, because also that game looks like it's designed for children and not something a 30-year-old would play. Obviously I'm wrong because there are many people that are well in their 30s playing that game. I also tried that game to see how their gameplay works, but that gameplay was very boring to me. I really don't understand the success of Axie Infinity, but yet again guys, I'm wrong. It's highly successful. I still believe Axie Infinity doesn't hold any ground on the long term because there will be so many competitors jumping on the blockchain gaming hype, and there will be great big games on the blockchain guys. There will be very big games that like hundreds of thousands of people will play each and every single day, and I believe that once that is going to happen, that all these lower idle boring games are not really going to exist during that time, right guys? I really believe that these type of games will cease to exist, and only time will prove if I'm right or wrong. But it's not something that I am personally interested in because it doesn't trigger my interest, and also I don't believe in the long term of these type of games. Let me state this, because Axie Infinity, I lost a big opportunity on that game. I could have made a lot of money on that because I was quite early on that game. So if this project has a lot of hype around this project, then it can earn you a little bit of profit on, for example, the short term, and maybe even a little bit in the long term, right guys? Because there are not yet really big games on the blockchain yet. So until then, yeah, maybe these type of games can generate you some money. So let's continue down guys. This is what I like. Crabada battle game prototype demo. So hopefully they already show a little bit of their gameplay and how that works in terms of interaction, for example. Many new NFT play to earn games already don't do that, which is very alarming as an investor, because that would be a very lazy approach. So at least they do this right if they show a little bit of gameplay. So let's take a look. So we can already see a little bit of interaction going on. This is definitely a prototype demo, so that's good. We can already see how certain elements are interacting with the player, how it's gonna work, how their interface is interacting with the player, right, guys? But yet again, like if I just look at this image, I can't deny the fact that this looks like it is designed for the target audience, let's say between 4 and 10-year-old, right, guys? But yet again, that doesn't have to be a major issue, but I don't know, I'm struggling with that. I'm really struggling with that because I don't believe that all these games that have these low target audiences will exist, especially in the long term when there will be great big games like maybe even World of Warcraft type of games on the blockchain. Then these games will definitely be buried under these very big games, right, guys? That's my opinion at least. So let's take a look further, guys. How does the battle look like, for example? So here they showcase the battle. Let's take a look. Yeah. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm not impressed. This is exactly like Axie Infinity. It's automatic. Maybe you can choose a few skills sometimes, but the gameplay really lacks. And it is definitely not unique because there are so many games that are copying Axie Infinity currently. And again, this is one of them too. The only USP behind this project is their assets because they're using some type of sea crab. That's their only unique USP, guys. So they only have a unique design, but the rest is not as unique because Axie Infinity does the same thing. There are so many other games that does the same thing, guys. So it doesn't look unique already. I already don't see anything regarding the team. The target audience seem like very low in age. So I'm already not really convinced myself to invest in this project. But like, let's continue the video. Maybe there's more gameplay going on. I'll speed it up a little bit, guys, to see what is going on. Yeah, I'm already bored, guys. It's an auto battle idle game. There's not much gameplay going on. I stated that before. It's the only game mode currently. So yeah, I'm not very impressed, guys. Mine, deploy your forces to mine for valuable treasures and thrive into the prosperous rediscovered undersea kingdom. Loot, breed, and battle. Yeah, same as Axie Infinity, guys. Crabada preview. I have to admit the characters look quite funny, quite unique, but yet again, target audience, I'm not certain. I am definitely not certain. And maybe it's just not my cup of tea. Can be a possibility. Maybe I'm already a little bit too old to find these type of graphics interesting, and maybe I value that too heavily. But yet again, guys, I highly believe that there will be big games on the blockchain with fulfilled with high quality gameplay, right, guys? And this is definitely not one of them. Let's continue to scroll down. Battle game prototype now available. Windows demo, macOS, and Android. Well, we already could see their demo, so there's not much else going on. Token and assets. Let's see that. Again, guys, the readability is not really good. That would be something that I would address to the team personally if I worked for this project. Crabada can be bred and used in games to earn cryptocurrencies with real value. All Crabada live on the blockchain, so players have full control of their assets. Yeah, again, not really unique, guys. They have a breeding mechanic. Well, there are thousands of projects out there with a breeding mechanic. It's definitely not unique. Their auto battle system, again, guys, is also not unique. It looks ripped off from Axie Infinity. TOS is the in-game currency earned by playing the game in the form of mining, looting, and lending Crabada via the tavern. TOS can be obtained exclusively through gameplay. Alright, let's continue to go down. Backers, Avalanche, Death Demons, okay. Doesn't really say a lot, guys. Roadmap, that's also something that is highly interesting because this portrays how serious a team basically is. The more detailed a roadmap is, the more serious a team is, in my personal opinion. This is not good, guys. They only listed the roadmap for 2022, so we have no clue what's going on in 2023 or following years. We have not a single clue. Player levels, Crabada levels, equipment, okay. So marketplace is coming in Q3 2022. An in-game marketplace is always nice, guys. So that is good, but yet again, additional content. This is very lazy. Again, guys, so many projects do this and it's wrong. If you already have an idea on how your additional content is going to look like, because if you are serious about your project, you already thought about that. You already thought about basically 95% of your game, the roadmap is only gonna divide that into pieces on when that's gonna be realized, right, guys? When each part is gonna be developed. But this is very lazy. They most likely didn't think about it yet. They just postpone that for the near future. They will think about it when they are in Q4, and then they will design a new roadmap and start thinking about their additional content. But that doesn't prove that they already have an idea on how that's gonna look like. So that's a red flag for me. So again, guys, not a really good roadmap. It's very shallow. It doesn't tell us a lot. Yet again, guys, it's a little bit concerning because we can see that the roadmap is becoming less and less and less, right, guys? They have a lot of items in Q4, which is already passed, and it's slowly becoming less and less and less. Whereas in Q4 2022, they've barely anything listed, which proves me a little bit that it sounds a little bit cash grabby, guys, in my personal opinion. If we continue to scroll down, rediscover the ancient crab kingdom. Yet again, guys, no LinkedIn redirection. I invest in teams, and when I see that the team is competent and skilled enough with enough experience, then I go to stage 2 and see if that project is good too, right, guys? If that project is aligned with my personal interests as well. But if I can't find any team members, then I can't do research about the people that is behind this project. And that is so important as an investor, guys, especially within the NFT space currently, because there are so many cash grabs, scams, and other filthy things going on. Everyone is so predatory for your money, so at least you need to do research about their team so you know who you give your money towards, right, guys? It makes absolute common sense in my book, but again, there's still so many people investing into projects without knowing the people behind the project, and it's absolutely mind-boggling in my opinion. So let's take a look at the white paper or tokenomics. Okay, I can't click on these buttons. Let's go up. Maybe I can click right there. Okay, I can click on the white paper right here, guys. Let's take a look. Can I find something about the team? I want to know who's behind this project. You know, I want to know the people behind this team. So let's click on team. Oxtender. Okay, that's not a real name, guys. J, also not a second name. So this is not his full name. Fiji, NH. These are a bunch of anonymous guys. And that is bad. That is a major red flag from my opinion. Let's look at the co-founder's Twitter page. Maybe he has more information on his Twitter page. And he clearly has not, because this is not his real face. Obviously, this is not how the co-founder actually looks like. His Twitter page has been made in June 2021, which is also new because he's not 1 year old. Obviously, if it was his personal profile account, it would have been made a very long time ago, but that's not the case. We don't know anything about the guy that is named Oxtender, which is the co-founder of Carbada. Like, how big of a red flag do you guys want to have in order to be a little bit wary of investing your money? Like, it's, for me personally, this is already not going to be an investment for me because I have no clue who this guy is. With multiple years of experience working on blockchain applications, I can write that text too. I want to see proof. I want to see references of actual companies, blockchain companies, for example, that this guy has worked for. I don't see any proof of that, guys. He only shows us his Twitter link, which is not even the guy himself. It's just some panda guy as a profile picture, which already doesn't add up. At least use your own IP. Very bad, guys. Now let's look at the Fiji co-founder, another co-founder. Let's look at his Twitter account. Again, same applies for the other co-founder, guys. Not his real name, not his real picture. At least he uses his IP asset as a profile picture. He joined the Twitter on May 20, 2017, so that's also a little bit better. So I can only assume that there's more information known about the guy on his Twitter account, but doesn't seem to be quite the case. I already don't like it, guys. Now let's go to their Discord channel because maybe they have more information regarding the team over there, which I highly doubt. But in Discord, we can also check the hype around the project, and we can also check how their announcement look like how serious are they with their game development? Are they showing us any game development? Are they showing us any prototype besides the trailer on the website, of course? Or are they only trying to sell their NFTs and token? Because if it's the second, then it's also another big red flag, right, guys? So this project currently has around 15,000 members. That's not really a lot, guys. That is quite bad. So even if you consider this project for the short-term flip, there's not a lot of hype around this project. Now that could change in the near future, right, guys? So if that's something of your interest, keep track of this project, right, guys? So let's take a look. They're facing some issues on the mobile testnet. That's fine. I want to see some development though. Okay, this is about airdrop. This is another lottery, not gameplay. Lucky draw, lucky draw, lucky draw. Where's the gameplay? Another lucky draw, lucky draw. Okay, this is a announcement how much token there's been burned. This is becoming highly concerning again, guys, because they're only giving away NFTs. They're only talking about how much token there's burned, right, guys? Again, token burned. Who cares? Continue to go up. Lucky draw, lucky draw, lucky draw, lucky draw. Like, how is this? Like, this should be in a lottery a section at least. This is an announcement tab. For example, I'm just live going to show it to you guys. Let's take a look at Ambusword, a project that does it right. Let's look at their announcement, right, guys? Work in process Wednesday. Okay, they already show some assets. This is what I want to see, guys. They're literally showing us drawings and concept art designs, turning it into 3D assets. It's filled with concept design. They're only talking about development. Sometimes they're talking about a certain token goal, but that's okay, guys. But like the majority needs to be about your game, and Ambusword does that right. They have so many, like, look at this, guys. It's so good. But if we go back to Crabada official, they're only doing a lottery every single day, it seems like. They don't show any sketches. They don't show any new game features. They don't show any gameplay. Let's take a look. We are implementing a new strategy to report bugs in game to allow us to keep track of all bugs and resolve them accordingly. Yeah, that's not about the game, guys. That's not an additional feature, for example. This is very bad. Lucky draw, lucky draw. I'm not too happy with that. And of course, we can't find additional information about their team. They're just hiding, guys. We don't know who they are. And that should be the number one, to be quite frank. If you don't know the team, don't invest. It should be such a simple rule that you can apply to yourself to mitigate your own risk, because you should not compound your own risk, guys. The whole market is already very volatile. Already so many sketchy and shady projects out there. The least thing you need to do is find the information on the team members behind the certain project, right, guys? Let's take a quick look through their white paper, though. Yeah, not a lot of information, guys. Change log, adding text, setting price in tavern. Yeah, why is that worth noticing, guys? Anyway, let's game UI change log. Also, not a lot of information. Token. Hopefully, we can learn more about the token distribution. Not really, not at all, actually. Play to earn, maybe. That's also not the case. Yeah, so not a lot of information on here, guys. Game mechanics, Crabada, factions. Each Crabada has a primary attribute of faction, which is determined by its class. Crabada inherits faction benefits and weakness based on the faction it belongs. These faction elements look quite good, not too bad. Try to find them, maybe they ripped them from the internet, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like they did create their 3D assets and their graphic design themselves, so that's good, of course. There are many projects that just rip them from free stock photo websites or free vectors, like Vecteezy, but that doesn't seem to be the case for Crabada, so that's good. They look good. Doesn't look too bad at all. But again, guys, the target audience is a little bit of a struggle for me personally. So yeah, this really looks like Axie Infinity, guys, the marketplace. It looks similar. It already proves a couple things to me, guys. It doesn't seem unique in any sort of way, because why would you play Crabada and not Axie Infinity, for example, that already has a very big market for itself, besides the potential of the short-term flip investment, right, guys? Because if you are early and the game turns out to becoming more popular, just like Axie Infinity, then yeah, you can maybe sell a couple of these NFT for a profit, right, guys? So that is an opportunity, but that's not a opportunity I'm willing to take personally, because I do not want to compound my risk. I don't know anything about the guys. I don't think the game is fun to play, and I don't think the target audience is something that I'm interested in, right, guys? Because the target audience, like I stated before, seems like 14 years old and younger, and definitely not 20 up to 35. But again, guys, Axie Infinity is also highly popular, which I also don't understand. So yeah, that just might be my taste, I guess. Let's continue. Tavern, hiring crabs, lending crabs, setting price. Okay, yeah, we all know what that means. Staking. Okay, staking is not really a utility, guys, but yet again, you know, if you want to stake, you can do that. Lucky draw guide. So this is the lottery that they have in place that have been heavily announced in their announcement tab. I'm not a fan of lotteries, guys. Again, the design doesn't look that bad, but still, the target audience and the gameplay, the lack of gameplay that is going on, it's just going to be very tedious and boring to play this game. Same for Axie Infinity. So the only demand there will be for this game is the opportunity to maybe earn some money, and I don't think that will be sufficient enough for these type of games. First of all, because Axie Infinity was the first of its era, right, guys? It was the first game that did what they did, and this is already project number 102, for example, that does exactly the same thing, and 9 out of 10 times that will fail, because it's the same thing with Bitcoin. You can make a token tomorrow and claim it to be the next Bitcoin, but how much chance does it actually contain that your coin will be the next Bitcoin? Not really quite likely, right, guys? It's the same for these type of games. They don't do anything unique. The only thing that is unique about this game is their IP, their graphic design. How much ground does that actually hold, especially for the long term? Nah, I have no faith at all. Like, meanwhile, the co-founders, who are they? I don't see any pictures, I don't see any experiences, I don't see any LinkedIn profile pages about these guys. I don't have a clue who these people are. It could be the people that were behind BitConnect in 2017. We don't know. So we definitely not gonna invest into people we don't know, guys. It's a number one rule of thumb. I think we can wrap this up. A big concern, because the target audience opinions, doesn't align with my personal interest. Now, again, guys, that doesn't have to mean a lot because Axie Infinity, that I also dislike, is highly popular and people make a lot of money with it. But I have to state that Axie Infinity was the first of its kind and that always have a first move advantage, right, guys? The same for Bitcoin. So all the other copycats, so to speak, they really have less ground. There's not a single piece of information regarding their team, which is highly concerning, guys. They don't use their full name, so I can't even look them up on LinkedIn, and that is bad. Also, on their Discord, on their announcement tab, they only show that they're doing some type of lottery. I want to see gameplay. I showed you guys the example on how to do it right with Ambusword. They do it perfectly, guys. It's absolutely fantastic how they approach their project development and how they share that project development with you guys as the audience or as an investor. But Crabada, absolute bullshit. That's not what I want to see as an investor. So overall, I think I can wrap it up. I don't believe that this project will hold any ground. We can look at the token real quick. 0.07 cents. Currently, maximum supply is not listed. Why is there no supply? Maybe there isn't a maximum supply of the token, which would be bad because it's very difficult to really balance out your token with burn mechanics. So I'm not a fan of that if they don't have a maximum supply. Also, if we look at that graph, we have information from December 2021 until now, and it's absolutely at its low bottom, which would make sense in my opinion because there's not a lot of development going on. They're only busy with their lottery system, and I think this also proves my whole point in terms of how fun and how much adoption this game is potentially going to get, because it already looks like Axie Infinity, so it doesn't do anything new. It doesn't show us anything new because they're yet again only busy with their lottery system and their giveaways. So why would you be interested in this game, right? There's nothing going on that is unique or interest me personally as an investor. So I believe that this project will continue to go down, and I think it would be very difficult for this project to come out of its dive. Now, the only chance they have, in my opinion, is if they all of a sudden become very transparent. They showcase that they do have the blockchain experience that they state they have, because I can't check that because they hide themselves. So 0.07 cents, guys. I don't think it's a good project, but yet again, that's just my opinion. And the most important aspect is that you create your own voice and that you create your own identity as an investor, because that is the most important, guys. And remember, be a leader in this space and do not be a sheep. Peace out, guys.